lane yet again, but at least it
What's
is.
wrong with mages in the mid lane?
I've seen too many of them, man. Like we don't need to see more mages. It's a very cute intro. Thank you, CBLOL. They always give the best intros here.
They do. The cinematic, the production team behind CBLOL is absolutely amazing. All
Yes.
the stuff, the content they put out too throughout the week, and like in the pre-show, some of the best I think, comparable to major regions, definitely.
I also saw as well one of the casters casting right now on their stream has beautiful rainbow earrings. I want those rainbow earrings. I need them. I don't even have my ears pierced. I just want them to look at them.
You know what? For all the rings that we have in League of Legends for items, I wish we had like more like earrings or bracelets or bangles.
For real. For real. They always give like what the world's rings, but like people don't wear rings. You display rings. You could definitely wear earrings or like wear a necklace or something like that, but
Yeah, necklace actually would be really nice.
Necklace would be cool with the little like I don't know, 2020 whatever year you win worlds or something like that, like a little champion imprinted in it.
Yeah,
something
when
like that.
NA wins worlds, right? That's when it's gonna happen.
Not even that. When I win for NA in Worlds, that's when we're gonna get necklaces.
At this point, I almost feel like saying when CBLOL wins worlds is like a better shot than when NA wins worlds.
Dude, Loud did so well last Worlds. I was so happy, and then it was like the very last what was it, Game 5 or whatever it was. Man, that was depressing.
Yeah, when EG, unfortunately, was it EG who knocked them out or DFM who knocked them out? I can't remember which one. I think it was EG who knocked them out, right?
I think it was EG because I remember that was like my favorite match I've ever watched in my life was EG versus Loud. I'm like, I'm never gonna get this again. I have to watch this series.
Oh yeah, you're right. You'll never get Loud again because Pain's obviously gonna win it.
Okay, calm down with your rank 10 negative 1500 gold match.
Hey, Pain's winning right now. They've got more CS in the bot lane.
Well, they have more CS in the bot lane. It's a stealing bot lane as well. Explain to me how that works. Okay, I said I wasn't gonna nerd out about the Lulu Nami matchup. This is my time to nerd out about the Lulu Nami. Yep. Nope. Okay.
Nope, it's not. Karaoke's gonna cut you off.
Karaoke. Why do you do this, Peloto? Please, just don't die right now. Thanks, man. We're good. He did have to burn flash there, of course, but he was just a little bit out. Wave managed there by Kato. He's freezing the wave. He's having a good time underneath this turret. But meanwhile, down in bot lane, we have cookies. We have cookies on both of the supports. This is not a cookie matchup for either support. You could argue it for the Nami side, but Lulu, absolutely not. You should not ever need cookies on a Lulu Nami matchup as the Lulu because Nami just simply has less mana than Lulu on every stage of the game. Lulu should always have a mana advantage just because of her mana cost. You don't need a cookie. You will have a mana lead no matter what in this lane, please.
Maybe it's not for the mana here, Cam. I mean, Damage right now is playing aggressively. It's not about the mana. It's about the health, I think, because he's stepping up. He's actually threatening and pushing, and we're seeing Juliera and Cavallo actually have to burn a lot of mana to match right now. Karaoke now wrapping around here. I like this. Karaoke's been proactive. I'm in shock, and I'm happy.
Nope.
Did they see him? he overstepped, but I don't know if they saw it.
I don't think that they did, but just based on how Juliera and Cavallo are playing right now, yeah, Cavallo bopped the bubble there. This is the like 5-second cooldown that they have to get the re-engage. Excellent Plymouth there onto Juliera, burning the heal immediately. Karaoke not gonna burn his own flash for that one, so it is just the heal for heal trade between the supports, but Juliera, more importantly, is forced to burn that flash. Could be a re-gank bubble landing onto Bavoid, though. Gonna burn that barrier that he has, but might just be taken down to the Ignite burst for none other than damage on the Lulu. That is what I like to see.
Well, the biscuits didn't really matter. Damage still gets the kill anyways, and
he hasn't eaten them. They're doing nothing.
It's for dessert. It's the reward he gets to eat when he gets those kills. Karaoke, though, canceled back twice, so I am so happy that paid off. That could have gone so poorly. Now, First Blood did end up on damage, which is less than ideal in this bot lane, but you take what you can get. And Juliera and Cavallo here, you know, we touched on the fact that, hey, they're a very proactive sort of bot lane. Liberty as a whole likes to make things happen, but you need to be more patient. You knew Karaoke was in there. They didn't even wait 8 seconds. The Karaoke was actually basing and canceled it because Juliera went in. So there was no way Karaoke had left the area.
Yeah, I definitely think the Liberty bot lane should have expected like you said, that Karaoke was still sitting in that bush. They could have assumed, I guess, perfect world assumption for the Liberty bot lane there is Karaoke was in that middle bush, and then he had just walked back into the third bush, and then maybe gone back to like Claire's Gromp or something. But even then, that is very like perfect thinking. That is not what you should be expecting when you go in for a 2v2 trade like that when you saw the jungler no less than 5 seconds prior. But on a ward now, Liberty looking to start this first dragon up for themselves at 5 minutes. I do not remember the last time I saw a 5-minute CBLOL dragon here, and will it be completed? Most likely not, but a little bit of a one going up here on the top side. Wiser going in, very low HP compared to Kiari, but it might not even matter. We'll trade out about even. Both trading out their
Okay.
ultimates as well, but we got a 5-minute dragon fight here. Nobody is level 6 except for the mid laners,
Oh,
and that is what is going to
is
matter.
that gonna be a
Perfect
double?
execution by Dying Kettle right on a Juliarian, right onto the
Before?
damage member of Liberty. Bavoy as well, just rolling in, taking the kill for himself yet again. 3-0 now in the favor of Pain.
You know, there's a saying in Chinese camp that the old gingers are the spiciest, and right now we're seeing that with Pain Game in here. You said we don't usually see 5-minute dragons, and a lot of that has to do with the way that your lanes are set up. Rarely do you see a lane take over by 5 minutes, and then a team kind of gets free access to that dragon that easily. Now, Liberty, they started up in full vision, and because it's so early, Dragon hurts. Look at how low the health bars were before Dinkiddo even gets in there. And Dinkiddo is on Akali level 6. That is the cleanup champion here. Piloto plays that beautifully. That Emperor's Divide keeps him alive, but that's a Zeri as well. And you can see the excitement of the fans. We've been waiting all season. This is round 8. 7 games where Pain has done nothing early. And this is the first time they actually look awake before 15 minutes.
I liked the pajama pants on the fans there. I appreciate the thought of the pajama pants. They actually match Pain's colors as well, so maybe it was thoughtful pajama pants for that one there. Meanwhile, you know, so much excitement around the bot lane. Julier unfortunately sitting there with 2 deaths, but we're looking at top lane right now. We're looking at the tank versus the tank. We're looking at the nothing burger right now that is top lane, and they're having a good old time. Just don't even. Wiser doesn't even have flash. I don't know why I said they traded flash for flash. They did not. They traded teleport for teleport. That's what they actually traded here. But Void going in though with the electric surge, I think is what that old's called. Is it called electric surge? I'm gonna feel really happy if it is. Lightning
Not gonna
surge.
lie, I'm trying to think right now what it is. Lightning surge?
Wait.
Okay, I was banking on it, so.
Sari. Oh.
We're actually looking this up. Okay, it is Lightning
dedicated.
Crash.
Oh,
Lightning Crash. We were pretty close. So yes. Now Pain.
that was close.
That is not something that we expected to see too much. But because B-Voy got that kill, he hits level 6 first, and Zeri actually gets to go on the aggressive against the Lucian Nami. And with Lucian Nami as well, one thing to keep in mind is there is a bit of a power trough around that pre-level 6 mark before Lucian gets that Gale Force built. So there is a window of opportunity where if damage can get the poke down, can win out those trades, we might actually see Pain's bot lane win out those 2v2s. And that's without the junglers involved. Vi, level 6 can lock down Zeri, but I actually would argue that I think Sejuani's more impactful in the 3v3. So if Karaoke comes down there as well, Pain have a strong bot side for the next little while.
And Pain will have a strong bot side for, I would actually argue, significantly longer than a little while. Lucian Nami is a lane that really requires you to have a lead, especially in the mid game, to be able to do damage that Lucian really wants to do. And the fact that he is sitting 0-2 before really plates have even fallen, we are still pre-10 minutes here, and now being dove underneath the turret, still doesn't even have level 6. He pops level 6 just there, and the tidal wave might just be enough to calling us. The second that he pops 6, so unfortunate for Karaoke. It was a perfectly set up dive, just under the assumption that it would be a level 5 Lucian, and then in the end, it just simply wasn't, burning every single summoner down there in the bot lane as well, outside of the flashes on Bavoy and Cavallo. It now might just be turned back on to Pain. Ace is still hovering around this bot lane here as well, just potentially looking for a dive.
Yeah, and the other thing too is I felt like the Glacial Prison came out a little bit early on the play there. You can see that B-Voy actually wasn't quite able to reach onto Cavallo here, because Cavallo's the one who ends up eating the ultimate. I think the call was to go on the Lucian instead, and then as you rightly point out, level 6 is hit. That's when the dive goes incredibly sideways for this team. You know, I actually think Damage might have been able to save Karaoke if he just stepped up a little bit and tanked the damage. He didn't have the turret aggro, but I guess hindsight 2020. And Pain, despite that not going in their favor, let's not forget skilling is in their favor. It's on Liberty to actually make these early game moves. So having a win there, if anything, just puts them closer to being back on track. They still don't have that lead.
Also important to note there was Cavalo. Cavalo was level 6 and damage still sitting level 5. Really needed that wild growth. Would have absolutely kept Karaoke alive. Or like you say, tank one more tower shot before Karaoke falls. Would have probably kept him alive there as well. Little bit of a 3v3 here in the mid lane. Dragon is coming up here in a couple of seconds. As I say that, I realize we still don't have objective timers. So I don't know what happened. I'm assuming at this point it's probably just a production error on CBLOL side, but we can see it on the map, sort of. I know that white means like 30 seconds and yellow means 10 seconds, I think is what it is. So it's 10 seconds now.
Yeah, it's really close. I don't know the exact timers here. It's funny because when we first started CBLOL English back in, I think it was 2021, we used to joke that CBLOL doesn't know what dragons are. So if you didn't have timers back then, we wouldn't have cared. But CBLOL has long since figured out objectives, so not having the timers right now actually really hurts. Not only does the dragon one hurt, but I actually care more about the Herald timers for the most part here, because that's what CBLOL really fights over. Speaking of which, Herald dropped the bot side. It just takes the 2 plates, really nothing more. And Liberty are actually starting to lose control of this dragon. You're talking about it being spawned, or spawning soon, pardon me. It spawned, and Liberty just lost bot side control.
Yeah, it's funny how you drop Rift Herald in the bot lane, and then you just immediately don't have bot lane control anymore, and that just really goes to show that once Bavoy and Damage got any sort of lead down here in the bot lane, even if they throw it a little bit with Karaoke gave his life, they still are able to output more damage than the Lucianami at this stage in the game. Glacial Prison lands onto an ace as he tries to go for the steal, but the dragon will be in the favor of Pain Gaming yet again. Wild Growth finally on the board, but Dianketa will end up falling. He doesn't have the backup available until Bavoy comes in just a little bit too little, too late. 1-for-1 traded between the jungle and the mid here. And other than that, couple of summoners burned, but the dragon in the favor of Pain.
Yeah, and the setup for that particular play as well, coming through from Pain. Liberty, they opted to take the long way around, and Piloto was actually late to the party. They were never going to get that dragon. If anything, AC just kind of goes in for the Hail Mary. Maybe I get it, maybe I don't. Pain played the stop very, very well. Glacial Prison used immediately to disengage. Top side, yeah, okay. They can't actually fully commit to this. The follow-up fight was where I had a lot of questions. Because if you watch the replay right here, it's Liberty who opts to go in after this fight. Like, the moment the Glacial Prison landed, I thought Liberty just says, we disengage. Instead, AC goes onto Karaoke. Of all people, you went on the tank, and you have nobody who can follow you up. Dinkido going down, that's a good play from Piloto. So, Liberty, you shouldn't have gone for the fight. The fact that you find a 1-for-1 at the end of it is kind of the silver lining, and that's more just on Piloto being incredibly good on these control mages.
Piloto did play that really well, just pretty much single-handedly keeping Dianketa from getting almost a double kill there in the backline. I definitely think without Piloto there, Dianketa was getting a double kill on a Juliera and Cavalo almost every single time in that scenario. But they keep Dianketa at bay for a little longer. It is about a 20 CS lead here now, 15 CS lead for Piloto in the mid lane as well. Just important to mention that he is still maintaining his mid prio as much as he can, even into the mini counter matchup that Akali is at this point. I do believe Akali will end up outscaling the Azir. Could be wrong on that, but that's what I remember is Akali eventually outscales Azir, and it becomes impossible for Azir to 1v1 Akali at later stages in the game. But at this point, it is a pretty even matchup. Just at all Azir favored. It just goes to show that Piloto is playing this matchup really well.
Yeah, and the Akali matchup, so skilling is a relative term. We use the word skilling a lot.
More useful later is what I am saying.
No, that's fair, because a lot of times, like, I think we take skilling as just, oh, who's got more damage, who gets better ratios later on in the game with your items. But Akali actually doesn't necessarily have better ratios than Azir. What you mentioned is, yeah, he just does more. He's mobile, and Azir actually can't handle all that mobility. You can't lock down the Akali, and Akali is going to make Azir's life hell. So that is something that we do have to keep an eye on in terms of when Dinkido really starts to pop off. And with the mobility, we've seen Piloto answer it really well. Those Emperor's Divides have been nothing short of miraculous right now to make sure Liberty doesn't fall further and further behind. Problem is, Piloto has to get that every single time. Dinkido just needs to get past it one time.
And that getting past it is just simply easier to do than landing the ability in the first place. But now we got the second Rift Herald started up here yet again by Liberty. They have been on the board and on the ball on
There's a
these
pink in
two
there.
Rift Heralds, but there is a pink. They are fully on vision, but Karaoke will just end up giving the Rift Herald over. I definitely think it could have been a suicide steal mission if Karaoke wanted to make it that, but knowing that he doesn't want to die unnecessarily at this pretty even stage of the game, will just hope that the Rift Herald itself will mean less than a potential steal and a death that he would have given over in their favor. So now we are at a pretty even stage of the game still, where the gold lead just constantly going back and forth. Yes, it's 300 in the favor of Pain right now, but it's probably going to be 300 in favor of Liberty in about 30 seconds. So it's just going back and forth for now, but more importantly, Pain has claimed the first two dragons, Liberty has claimed the first two Rift Heralds, and later into this game, those two dragons are going to be a lot more than the first two Rift Heralds.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on the fact that that pink is still in the Herald pit. Is this a spec bug? Like, Liberty not only took Herald in full view of them, they didn't clear it on the way out. Like, they knew Dinkito was bot side with no TP. They know they've got a numbers advantage. Yo, that's gold on the map. Okay, I'm very
It's
confused.
a spec bug. It's a brain bug.
Yeah, maybe it's a brain bug. It's either it's got to be a spec bug, right? Either way, Liberty, as I mentioned, the gold is teetering back and forth. Now, Pain has two dragons. That is invisible gold that we can't see.
Obviously,
Third
we have
dragon's about
timers.
to spawn. Yep, we got it back 30 seconds. It's Cloud. It's not normally that important, but for a team like Pain, when we're talking about mobility with the Akali and with the Zeri as well, Pain actually really wants this Cloud Soul. So if there's an opportunity right now, Pain, their team fight has been strong. They want this dragon, and they were willing to give up Herald. That's fine. I do not expect to see Pain just see this dragon uncontested.
Pain playing very much towards these bot side winning conditions, thanks to how ahead their bot lane has gone. I would say in the first 15 minutes of this game, they will end up losing the first turret because of both the Rift Heralds being dropped on the bot lane. But other than that, and a couple, 500 extra gold shared between the members of Liberty, it is a little rough that did get a hit on the second turret. I was honestly not expecting it to get a hit on the
Didn't
second
pop the
turret.
eye. That was really weird.
Yeah, I was not expecting that to happen, but that does give it a little bit more helpfulness for Liberty. But
Oh.
we got a team fight about to spawn here. Dying Keto has a potential flank angle on the bot side of the river here. I don't believe that Liberty know where he is sitting. Kiari might just be able to spot him out. Dragon has been started up now by Liberty, but in full vision thanks to that skeletal crab taken by Pain. Mega popped way too early now by Kiari. It is gonna have to run out now before that team fight even starts, and that timer is the timer for Pain to engage immediately after Glacial Prism landed onto Gilieri, but the dragon is picked up by Liberty on the other side of the fight, though. They just don't have the damage. Giant Keto going in the bot lane, but he is immediately gonna be taken out. 1v5 is not what you want to be as an Akali, and that's just gonna be a full disengage from Pain. They had the assassin go in, the assassin not quite able to trade out his life for anyone, so no disadvantage fights here for Pain. They will just end up giving one kill and one dragon back to Liberty.
Yeah, nothing found for Pain on that particular play. We said that Pain really wants to focus on that dragon. Oh, damage should be fine here. It still has flash available. And Pain doubled down on that dragon. It really came back to bite them. There's a bit of miscommunication, I think, with Dinkito there. Like you said, Akali doesn't want to go in 1v5. But the call from Pain was, we are doing dragon. Karaoke and Wiser, the two tanks, went in on the dragon there, and AC wins the smite fight. Young hands, man, out checking those boomer hands from Karaoke. But Dinkito, that was just hard of hearing. Like, you went in solo when the rest of your team didn't. You gave up a free kill. Pain, they're still fine. That's one dragon given over. Not the end of the world necessarily, but it is a little bit concerning when they seeded the Herald for free, when they lost the bot side turret, and they can't pick this one up. So watch the sort of decision, the call from Pain here. Dinkito is off on the side. Kiara did go mega, and it actually runs out. So the timing to go in is not bad. The problem is Glacial Prison comes out on the wrong people, on the side rather than AC. Yeah, and the tidal wave split them. And Dinkito actually hesitates, pops over when he knows the whole team isn't there. So that was a call that Dinkito opted to for I don't know what reason.
Yeah, I definitely think Dinkito just didn't need to go in on his own in that scenario. It's one of those scenarios, right, where it's like, if he was able to trade out 1-for-1, then it would look really good, but he just went in on his own, and it's one of those plays that makes you, or macro-wise makes you think there just simply wasn't a reason to go in for that play. The dragon was already dead. And unless there was like a massive outplay that Dainketo landed in that fight, there just wasn't a reason to do it. And now Pelota forced to flash for also no reason up there in the top lane. Karaoke, you know, he pressed R. It was very scary.
Yeah, he pressed R, so there was a reason for Pelota
Okay.
Flash, and it was Karaoke R.
If you say so.
To be fair, I actually don't know if he'd have died there necessarily, but there was the potential
I
of
don't think
damage.
they would have.
I mean, there's an Akali. I would flash, but I'm also not a pro, so maybe I think that was a bit of a dicey situation there. Now, Dainketo pushed out yet again here. Cease and desist still available.
Dainketo hanging around in the Shroud though, so I do think even if he is a little bit further out than champions are supposed to allow it to be, I think his W will give him that extra bit of safety. And this top lane you see in these past minute, we could joke about it a little bit, but these solo lanes right now are the targets for all of the picks right now. The first team to land a pick in one of these solo lanes, they will be continuously fishing for a pick here for the next couple minutes, will be the first team to secure that Baron. So important now on these 20-minute Barons, and getting that flash out from Peloto. It was Peloto that flashed, I'm not crazy.
Yeah, earlier, much when the Karaoke R came down.
Yeah, Peloto flashing as well as Wiser TPing now to the mid lane there as well to keep that turret alive, but cannot keep this top turret alive. So Liberty a little bit now on the front foot in terms of priority on the top side of the map here, but it's all a play around who gets the pick, who gets the right vision angle kind of thing on the top side until there's a dragon fight in about 60 seconds.
Yeah, and a lot of this was actually predicated on the Baron pressure that is on the map right now. It's been up for the last 2 minutes, and you can see the clash of ideologies between Liberty and Pain here. Liberty, they played for the top side. They had all 5 members kind of bouncing back between top and mid to get that pressure down, to get Baron control. Pain recognized that, hey, you can't do this safely. We can contest you. So we left Wiser split pushing. And I actually prefer Pain's approach here. I thought it'd be better, except for one thing, and that is that Liberty outhands them. B-Voy got caught. And the moment B-Voy got forced to base there, Wiser had to preemptively TP to stop the Baron take, and now they won't have that side lane pressure. They've sent Dainketo down to that bot side now, but as you mentioned, with Dragon spawning, it becomes a lot more complicated. Now Wiser's stuck on that top side, and Dragon's a lot quicker to burst down for Liberty.
Dragon spawning here in about 30 seconds. Liberty yet again does have the first river prio on the bot side here, and Pain, they are seemingly right now completely ignoring this dragon. I almost want to say they're going to give the dragon and play towards a Baron instead, which is something that they can do because they have a dragon lead, but you can't do it if you don't have a support. Culling burned for about 50% of damage to life, as well as the heal cooldown. Will not have that heal for a dragon fight or a Baron fight if that is what Pain really wants to do right now, and they're not looking to do either. They're looking to just give the dragon, I guess.
Yep, I think Pain sort of burnt through the advantages they got in the early game, and they've just fallen back on that old stall pattern, right? Because they got the first 2 dragons, they're not worried about dragons still going over. They're playing it incredibly slow again. Let Wiser continue split pushing. This has been their win con throughout this entire season. Let B-Voy continue to scale up on this late game monster that is Zeri. Honestly, on 2 items, Zeri can start to fight, but Pain, they're just so slow with it. Maybe they pull the trigger here.
Maybe pulling the trigger. Glacial Prison doesn't land onto anyone. Tidal Wave only landing onto Karaoke, but he has the blow up to give him a little bit of extra HP. But Boy, though, will not be so lucky. Gonna be forced to flash away from the just jaws of Liberty. They do not have enough damage to secure any kills onto Pain, but they do have enough to at least get them away from this mid-outer turret. You do not need to die for this turret. We'll just end up giving that turret over to Liberty as well as a placement ideal for that Azir tower. Full disengage from Pain. It is a miracle that no one died from Pain there.
Yeah, that's the right term for it, I think, miracle. And the problem was that it didn't even look bad. The engage actually looked half decent there. Pain is just not able to quite find the mechanics to win these fights. And huge props to Liberty, to Chiari, and to Cavallo in especially here. Those bubbles have been on point, and Chiari's TP to actually catch out B-Voy was the tipping point.
Potential engage here from Ace does land a really nice ult there onto Wiser. Wiser trying to get away, but doesn't have the flash to secure his way out, only has the ghost didn't even opt to use that one pick now in the favor for Liberty. That is the pick that I was talking about. Both teams trying to fish for so long. You get one pick on the top side, you can immediately convert it into a Baron so easily. Pain is perfectly set up though to look for a steal. They still have a pink in the pit for now as well. It's a 4v5 around the pit. Cease and desist still available for Ace here as well. I believe it's 4K. Yeah, 4K left on the Baron. 4v5 here in the favor of Liberty. They want to turn this fight. They want to get the engage on the Dying Cat. Oh, the bubble will land, and that just might be the engage
tidal
that
wave.
Liberty needs. Tidal wave as well, but they have the Lulu on the Dying Cat, but not on the damage himself. Will end up falling Dying Cat as well. Lulu has run out. No more wild growth.
TP,
Only has a stopwatch. TP coming in now from why Super Karaoke will be the next member to fall. Now a double kill coming out for Kiari, but they spent too much time looking for kills, too much time in the team fight. Now no more Baron available for Liberty.
Such a Pyrrhic victory for Pain here. They stopped the Baron, but they're hemorrhaging players. They're hemorrhaging kills. They lose another 2-for-1. That's 2 kills in favor of Liberty that Pain just couldn't answer here. And unfortunately for them, it's just sitting back, letting Liberty take full control here. That's really coming back to bite them. Now, because Baron doesn't go down, Pain are okay for now. And for Liberty, my big question is how much longer can they do this? They've been playing this perfectly. They haven't made a mistake yet. Sorry, pardon me. But yes, so this particular play as well, you can see the scaling of Pain coming in a little bit, right? B-Boy is still doing a lot of damage. And if he can get to free fire like he does in this fight, he does do a lot of damage. But how many times, how many fights was that before B-Boy gets a fight like that, gets to actually do damage, right? It feels like, what, 1 out of 3? That's not a good ratio.
Not a good ratio here. Baron just almost started up yet again. I think this might just be the same exact red ward or pink ward that Pain has had in this Baron pit for like, I don't know, 10 minutes now. Whoever put that pink there is getting massive value out of it. They see every single Baron, every single Herald with this one pink ward in the back of the pit.
What is going on with these people? Like, we know that Liberty can see it because Liberty hit it before. Like, please, thank you, AC. Thank you.
They didn't kill it.
Please, okay.
Maybe. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, ward kills.
We can do Baron now.
Can they though, Cam? Can they? I mean, they took it away, but if anything, I think we just saw how dangerous it is for either team to try and do Baron without securing a significant kill lead here. And specifically for Liberty, you need to kill B-Boy. If B-Boy's on the table, that's not safe. If Karaoke is on the table, it's still like kind of 50-50. Okay, let's call it a 7-30 because AC's hands have been better this game. But still, ideally, you kill both the jungler and B-Boy before you try and do it if you're Liberty. And if you're Pain, you don't do it unless you pretty much wipe Liberty on this fight. If anything, I think Dragon is where we're going to potentially see a fight come through. It's 20 seconds. We saw how quickly that one went down, and we said how important it is for Pain, but for Liberty as well. I think this speed boost is standing them in good stead. It's allowing them to look for these engages when they know that they're the stronger team.
Liberty around a 3,000 gold lead here at this Dragon Soul point. This has been Dragon Soul point for Pain for about 10 minutes, but you can't be taking the Soul point if Dying Kano is going to be picked up by 4 members of Liberty. And as I say that, Dying Keto will be perfectly fine. He does have TP if they want to re-engage on the mid lane here, but Tower be damned, Dragon be damned. We don't need anything other than just running down mid lane here for Pain. Liberty will claim their 3rd Dragon in a row, completely uncontested by Pain. Pain had a really solid 2-Dragon lead in the early game, and it has now completely disappeared. 3-2 is the lead on the Dragons for Liberty, and they're potentially looking to just push mid back into Pain and make some plays around the Baron.
I feel like the teams have been switched here, Cam. Generally, with a scaling composition, they give up first 2 dragons and then they start contesting a 3rd dragon. That's what Liberty kind of did. And Liberty is a team with Lucian Nami Vi. They are not the scaling composition. What are we witnessing?
We are witnessing League of Legends here, obviously, is what we're witnessing. We're also witnessing, like you said, a Lucian Nami that not only is Lucian Nami, but a Lucian Nami that got behind in the early game and is now coming back at 30 minutes with a dragon lead and an item lead over Bavoy and Nami. I don't know what happened. All I know is we still haven't seen a Baron. I would like to see a Baron now, please.
I part of me wants to see a Baron because that is the correct play from these teams. But part of me doesn't want to see a Baron because Pain's going to throw at it. I don't know if it's Pain Gaming Academy or Pain Gaming that's going to throw at it, but one of these teams is going to try and throw a Baron here. AC once again clearing out the pit. I appreciate that. Pain starting to finally catch up, come in to actually contest this one, but it's dark at the Baron pit for both teams.
Dark for now until someone puts that red ward down again and it never gets cleared for 10 minutes. I'm very excited for that ward to be placed here again, but Pain with just a couple of seconds right now, as you see, with some top lane prio. They need to make use of that and at the very least not get picked out here in the mid lane damage. Forced to flash away. Very important cooldown here for a level 11 Lulu. Cannot flash ult anyone now for the next couple of minutes. Liberty back in prio lane,
TP?
back in the lane to do something. You got the TP coming in now from behind on the Pelado. He will be able to get away over the wall and just bring the Keto right there with him. Ace as well, keep it Keto CC for as long as it takes Pelado to make it out alive. You gotta worry about Kiari on the bot lane though. He is up there for the team fight, but what he is doing is trying to take away inhibitors now from Pain Gaming. You got a 4v5 up here on the top side now. TP coming in from Pelodo. This is not Kiari. He is still split pushing on the bot side. 4v5 here. Now
That's
TP
Kiari.
coming in from Kiari. He will be a little bit late to the team fight though. Double bubble does land, buying so much time for the TP coming in from Kiari though, and that is the cooldown the Pain was waiting for. Karaoke does not have any HP to continue the scene, but Kiari pops Mega at the correct time this time, looking to get the engage back onto Wise. They have a 50-second death timer now onto the top laner of Pain. That might just be enough time to finally take a Baron.
Okay, wait, Liberty, they won that fight, but can they actually take the Baron here? Pain's just backing off. They're not even going to try and contest this. Cam, I think Pain's scared.
I think they are scared as well. I think Pain is playing to lose, or not playing to lose, playing to
They are playing to lose right now.
No. I meant to say playing to not lose instead of playing to win. I didn't mean to say playing to lose.
No, you know what? It was a Freudian slip, Cam. We know how you feel, and I kind of in agreement with you right now. B-Boy, he hit the IE power spike. He's on 3 items. That is when Pain should look to fight. And the engage was good. Pelodo was the one who stymied everything there. That wall play, he pulled a Houdini, and Pain lost track of him. And that was what let Kiari continue split pushing on the bot side. What's way worse is that when Kiari did finally TP in, they get the kill on Wiser. And this is not Liberty playing macro better. I mean, they're playing macro really well. But what's winning them this is Liberty. They're just playing their hands better individually. They're making plays. Pain has to commit more to do less than Liberty.
Pain taking out this mid lane tower like 3 times now. The Azir turret has been placed in the mid, I believe just off cooldown pretty much by Pelodo. I haven't seen him put this turret anywhere else. The second that this mid outer turret was taken, it has been an Azir turret ever since. And now you might be able to place it in this inner turret as Liberty claims their next turret as well. Pain has only taken the outer line of turrets. They have not broken that inner line, and now the entire inner turret line from Pain is about to be broken by Liberty. Just waiting on Kiari to clear that final inner turret on the top side. And with this excellent 4-1 with the Baron on all 5 members that they have going right now, yeah, definitely think that that inner turret on the top side will fall next. If not, this mid lane inhibitor turret might just fall as well. Not going to be long for this world here, Juliera. My goodness. Putting in a lot of work here on those turret damage.
You know what? And the thing with Pain's composition as well is that they don't actually have a good way to wave clear. Dinkedo is not great wave clear. B-Boy's range isn't ideal either, especially into Baroned up minions. So you can see how effective the Liberty push is right now. And for Pain, they got to hold for another 50 seconds. I don't think that top side can hold for another 50 seconds. And normally I kind of advocate for like, okay, look for a flank, look for a pick into that back line. But Pain does, not Pain, pardon me, Baron buff does give you combat stats as well. And like I said, I think Pain is actually scared right now to pick a fight. And with that fear, even when Baron buff goes down, I don't know how Pain want to play this out. Ideally, you can front to back this. You have scaling on your side, especially once B-Boy completes 4th item Last Whisper. But whether or not Pain's willing to pull the trigger is a whole different thing, and you don't have that much time left. One more dragon, sir, Soul, you can live through. Elder, you cannot.
Elder will find the 20% execute onto Pain's Nexus is where I'm gonna go with that one, maybe. I mean, you got 4 dragons in a row here for Liberty. You got 4 Cloud dragons. I actually think if you're gonna get 4 of one dragon, Cloud is my favorite. Cloud is one of the worst ones to get only 1 of, but one of the best ones to get all 4 of. So I'm gonna be
Gotta
an
go fast.
advocate. I'm gonna be an advocate here. You got what, like a 40% CD reduction on your ult. I don't know, something along those lines. It's crazy. Convolo is probably gonna have Tidal Wave available about every 25 seconds at this point in the game. Once he hits level 16 as well, it's gonna be about 20 seconds for every Tidal Wave. That Nami is going to be going very fast with some waves later into this game here. Second inhibitor under fire now by Liberty. Not a whole lot that Pain can really even do to keep their inhibitors live for much longer. Kiari as well, just still split pushing now in the mid lane for him. Rest of Liberty even split pushing on their own down here in the bot lane. They're most likely going to be able to take this inhibitor turret on this wave, if not the next, unless Pain does something right now. And yet again, they're pulling away. They have the full disengage, even though Shirelius is used to just continually get away from Liberty. But there's only so far you can run before they are now on your Nexus turrets.
Baron buff is off. Pain have to look for a fight right now, one way or another. What are you waiting for? Your Nexus starts to go down?
Looking for a fight. Might just be right now. There goes the Tidal Wave, though. It does only land onto a couple of members. And Ace is taken real low. This is the team fight for Pain. They have to win it right now, or their Nexus will end up going down. Kiari flashing up, but doesn't have the Mega. Can only auto for a couple of slows here, but the slows might just be enough. The Nexus turret is under fire yet again, and Pain, yet again, a full disengage.
Why? Like, just push. You were winning that particular fight. I don't understand this. Even now, they don't look like they're losing.
They don't look like they're losing, but they do look like they're trying to protect their Nexus turrets. And Peloto will finally end up falling. You got a 60-second death timer on the mid lane, and Ace could be the next one going down here as well. Landing a double kill for Bavoy. Pain, they can keep their Nexus turrets alive. They get a couple of kills, but you got an Elder spawn in here in about 4 minutes.
Holy cow. What does it take for Pain to realize that, hey, we can actually fight this? Lord Dominic's regard actually completed for B-Boy on this fight now. And Pain's composition came online, let's be honest, like 10 minutes ago. Like, they should have been winning these fights. Yes. It looks like it took desperation up against their Nexus for them to come back into this one. Granted, Liberty didn't play this the cleanest, and it was under a turret, but what we're seeing right now is, what, the 3rd time Liberty are pushing in on this particular play? And just watch B-Boy here. B-Boy is just shredding everyone. And realistically, this is Liberty's problem. Who's going to get on B-Boy? As long as B-Boy is not the one in front when the fight starts here, he gets to shred everybody. Even if Dinkido goes down, it literally doesn't matter. Karaoke goes down, does not matter. Your job is to lock people in place long enough for B-Boy to shred them.
Okay, Arms, so you can appreciate the team fight there. I was appreciating all the spectator bugs in that replay.
Okay.
There were a lot in that specific replay for some reason. Damage wasn't even on the graphic in that replay. That was my favorite one. They were literally playing a 4v5 in that replay. I enjoyed that very much. 7k HP left on the Baron, though. Pain completely pulling off of it. Might just be gifting this Baron on a silver platter to Liberty. Tidal Wave comes out yet again and lands onto the rest of the backline of Pain. Dinkido ends up going down for another 60-second death timer. Bubble lands onto no one but the Redemption. Will keep them alive. You got a lot of healing. You got a lot of HP, but it is yet again a 4v4 Pain. They have the movement speed, but do they have the damage to continue to keep it? Going in all on his own. He has no follow-up, and he will just about be able to flash away, but cannot do the same. It's a miscommunication on all fronts for Pain. They had the team fight in their hands, but it was just still not enough.
They had it in their hands and they threw it on the ground. What on earth was Pain doing? Desperation, Baron call, and B-Boy, we just said start the fight at the back. Do not face tag the entirety of everything. Pain Gaming, 39.5 minutes, they had it, but Liberty are going to be able to answer back. The Libertines here, the power of youth, managed to pull themselves up, keeping themselves in that